Okay, Tanner, I see you have your hand raised. Go ahead.
So I clicked on window and artboard. I didn't get I don't see my second artboard for some reason.
Well, you see the pop-up window? You gotta add it down here on the pop-up window. So you should get this window that comes up. I'm showing you right here. You guys see my screen or not? Are you seeing Illustrator or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
You are. Okay, good. And
Yeah, I clicked
so
window, artboard. Oh, I have to add. Oh, okay.
you have
It
to
shows
add
it.
the artboard.
All right,
So you
got it.
should
Problem.
you got it? Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Perfect. Good. Any other questions? So we're at our TypeTools.ai exercise 2. Okay. And so this is what we did last class. I've asked us to add another blank artboard because I'm going to abandon a little bit my original plan and switch it to something I think that'll be more relatable to what we're doing in class. So I just want to make it kind of more straightforward. So what I'm going to do is we have all these tools. We first of all talked about the pencil, the smooth tool, and the eraser last class. And I'll probably come back to those, but I think for the moment, I'm going to just go on to these other tools that we haven't gone through yet. I'm going to bring them over here just so I can kind of show you what we're doing with each one. And I'm going to show you how, for example, when we start working on our designs, how we're going to use just letters, not words. So for example, I'm going to take the type tool, and I'd like you to do this with me, and take your first initial. So for me, it's going to be the letter A. And then I'm just going to take the single initial, and I'm going to select it. And my type tools pop up right here at the top. So I'm going to take one of my choices of typefaces, which for me, that's on our list. So Bodoni is one. I think I have Bodoni, and I can just type in, rather than having to scroll through everything, I can just type it into this window, the first few letters, and it'll pop up. So here's Bodoni bold. And I'm gonna make it a little bigger. So I have a couple different ways I can do that. I can select it with my type tool, and it only goes to 72 points here, but I can also type in this window. Like I could make it 172 points and then just hit enter. And now I have it at 172 points. So it's nice and big, and you guys can see it. Okay, so that's the first step. And I'm going to copy this by holding my Option key down and pulling out another one. And I'm going to do that 3 times because I have 3 letters in my logo. So my middle is M and my last is D. So those are my 3 letters. Okay. Now we're going to be bringing our sketches in and then create our typeface, use our typefaces and lay them over our sketch designs. And I'm going to just show you right now, and we'll do that together in a little bit. But right now, I'm going to show you how we can manipulate some of these letters based on the sketches that you've done in class. So first of all, these are all type. And in order to modify them, I need to change the letters from type into objects. And the way I do that is I'm going to select it. I'm going to first copy it so I have it still in type if I want to go back to it. So I'm going to put a copy of it kind of off my paper up here, and that's going to stay typed just so I have it handy. And then this is the one I'm going to work on, and I'm going to change it. And I'm holding my Shift key down to select each one. So I'm going to select my first one, hold my Shift key down, select the second and the third. Okay, and then we're going to go to Type, Create Outlines, or Shift Control O. Now you can see they are outlines. There's a box going around them. There's no more baseline. They're no longer sitting on a baseline. They are now an object. They're no longer officially typed, which now means I can modify them and change them. So before I go on, I just want to check, are we all there? Did everyone type in your 3 letters? put them in one of our fonts. And just to remind you, our font list is right here. It's Bodoni, Garamond, Adobe Jensen, Kepler, Utopia, Futura, PT Sans, ATF Franklin Gothic, Gill Sans Nova, or Acumen. Those are our typefaces we're working with. Okay, so now we have, everyone with me? Do we all have our 3 letters? Okay, I'm not getting any response. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a couple things, and then I'm gonna ask you to screenshot it and put it in our chat so I can see what we're working on. And we're gonna be working together. So make sure you are following along, because you're going to be sharing your progress. Okay, so here we are. We have our 3 letters. Let's start with our first letter, letter number 1. Whatever your first letter is. And the first letter is going to get the knife treatment, okay? So we're going to crop it. Let's just assume we're going to say the knife is, we're going to cut a leg off. We're going to cut an apex off. We're going to cut something. We're going to get very dangerous. We're going to go under the eraser tool, and we're going to go to the knife tool. Okay. Now the knife lets us cut things like you would with a knife, make a slice of something. So I'm going to say that my A is going to have a slice. I'm going to make these angled slices, and I'm running them across these lines. I'm just clicking and dragging. Okay. And now you'll notice these are all objects, separate objects. So now I can do something like, I don't know, take a piece out there, take a piece out here, take that off. So there's my cropped A.
Uh-huh.
All right, so crop use the knife to make a cropping example of your first letter, whatever your first letter is. And then let's see what we got. And the way we're going to do that, if you're on a Mac, you can go Command Shift 4, and you'll get a crosshairs, and you can just select your design, click, and it's going to make a little picture of just that. And we're going to go over here to our chat, and we're going to pop it in our chat.
I'm sorry, you said you wanted a screenshot of it?
Yep. And so if you're on a PC, you can just use your clip pick, I think it's called.
You can use the snipping tool.
Snipping tool. Thank you. I always forget what it's called. The snipping tool. Jackson, I see your hands raised. Go ahead.
From when you do the knife cuts, how did you delete part of it again? I seem to be having issues with that.
Oh, you know what? Thank you. You're right. I didn't kind of go into that more succinctly. When you are in the knife and you want, hold on a minute. What do I have here? Oh, there's my picture. Put that over there. Let me go back. Undo. Okay, so when you are in the okay, there we go. So once you've made all your cuts, you want to be in the direct select tool. So the direct select tool was the white arrow, and that allows you to select just pieces of the pie. So I've just cut my A into all these pieces. I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to take that off, right? Now, if you go to the black arrow, it's just going to grab it and move it. So the black arrow is the regular selection tool, and it's just going to move my A around, keep it all as one. You need to be in the white arrow. You need to deselect the A and then go and roll over. I'm not clicking right now. I'm just rolling over so I can decide what do I want to take. And when I click on it, and then I can hit delete with my keyboard, and I can click on something and put delete, click on something and go delete. Did that work for you?
Yes, okay. I didn't realize you clicked off at first and then clicked individual parts. That was where I was, because the entire thing would delete or something like that, and I was just kind of confused as to what I was doing wrong. Okay. Now I'm all good. Thank you.
Good. Okay, any other questions? Was someone saying Acumen is not available? Can't remember. I'm trying to follow along in our chat as well.
No, I don't think it was Acumen. I think it was, I had this problem last time and I think you said, like, because when it was like, oh, these fonts aren't here, do you want to add them? And one of the fonts didn't, one of the font files, like, didn't have an equivalent in Adobe. So you just said to ignore it because the only thing that there should be is Futura. And I think that's the
Right.
problem that was had, because I think there was like a space in there that wasn't part of Futura.
Okay, Futura is on. Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll
Futura
definitely
is
get.
on there. That's not the problem. It was the Arima typeface.
Well, there is no Arima in my list. Acumen is on my list,
Yeah,
and
yeah. No,
there is.
no, I
Yeah.
knew that. The question was about like the thing that shows up as soon as you open it for the first time, and it's like these fonts aren't here. Would you like to add them? And then after you add Futura,
Oh, I see
it
what you're
was
saying. I
yes.
see what you're saying. So sorry. I thought you meant in our list of what we're using. Oh, you're right. There's the font on there that isn't in the document. Ignore it. Yes, you're right. Thank you. I was sorry. I was misunderstanding. All right,
No, you're
good.
fine.
Once you guys have it, I see a lot of you putting them in the chat. Your crops with your first letter. Awesome. Keep posting them so we can all see everybody's crops. Put your screen grab. Go ahead and put your screen grabs in the chat. Good job. I'm seeing Carmen's awesome. Candy's, I'm seeing yours. Rachel, awesome. Joseph, good job. Sandra, Jackson, Malia, Michaela. Nice. Good knife work, everybody. You guys have some seriously good knife skills. Gordon Ramsay would be so proud. Hey, Tanner. Did you have another question?
Yeah, I'm having trouble with the knife tool, and like I'm having trouble like ungrouping my letters so I can like, use the
You,
knife tool to like cut my T. Like it's like I'm like so
you
lost right now.
okay. So you have your letters. So you have three separate letters. You did one, and then you copied the other two, right? So you did them each individually, right? And you turned them into objects.
Uh,
Let me back up here so you can see. So you have three separate letters, or where are you stuck? What part in the process? So I can go back to the right spot, I guess is my question.
like I'm having trouble like ungrouping my letters. It's like I try to ungroup it, and it's like it's still in like one bunch, and like it's still like in like one object. It's like I can't ungroup it for some reason.
You mean the cuts that you've made with the knife tool, correct?
Uh,
Or the letters are grouped? What's grouped?
the
What are you
letters are
talking about?
grouped.
So you
My letters are grouped. Like I try to like drag like my T out so I can cut that, and like it's still in one group, meaning
okay.
like
So what?
and it-
Okay,
it's
let's
like in
start from
one.
the beginning then. So the beginning, I said draw one letter. So do one letter. Let's just start again. One letter. So I did a letter A. So do your first letter T, right?
Yeah.
Do your T, and then take that and you hold the Option key down and you drag it to make it a separate type box. Did you do that?
The command, is it option? Hold on.
Option or alt. If are you on a PC?
I'm on a laptop. It's not a PC.
Is it an Apple?
No, it's not Apple.
Okay, then it's a PC. And so you want to do alt
Okay.
and pull out another one. It makes it, you make a copy of it. Did you do that? I'm clicking and dragging. I'm just clicking and dragging it over.
It's let's see.
You can also do Command C to copy it. If you can't get it to work that way, Command C lets you copy anything. So if you take one, go Command C, copy, and then Command V, which pastes. It's just 2 steps. So I kind of like to do the other one because it's faster. But you can do it with a Command C and a Command V to give you a copy.
Let me see. Oh yeah, it works. The Control C works. Yeah, I can copy the letters.
Okay. So now you have 3 separate letters, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you can take all 3 of your letters and select them all 3 and go up to type, create
Okay.
outlines.
Type.
And now they should all be separate letters that are not a group.
Type.
You have to have them selected and then you say type create outlines or shift
yeah,
command
sure.
0.
Type. Yeah, why is it? Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Okay. I'm going to move on to the next one and I'll come back to you and we'll check in.
Okay.
So everyone else, we're going to move on to our second letter now. You make sure you've posted your first letter up in our Slack, in our chat so I can see it. Now we're moving into letter number 2. Letter number 2, we've done the knife and now we're going to move into, let's see. What do I want to do? Let's do the pen tool here. And I think we're going to also do rotate. Okay, so what we're going to do for this guy is here I've selected, for me, it's my letter M. And on the left here is the pen tool. And so let's say this is going to be our morph letter. And I want to change some things. I'm going to add another, I'm going to make a Command C, Command V, a copy, or using the Option key, pulling it over. I'm going to make a copy of my M. So I have 2 M's. I'm going to move my D out of the way. Move that out of the way. So I have 2 M's because I want to show you how we would maybe morph 2 letters together. So I'm going to put my 2 M's next to each other. And now I'm going to use, I'm going to select one of my M's. I'm going to come over here to the pen tool. And there's a pen tool, an add anchor point, and a delete anchor point. So I want to change this letter and make it more blocky. I'm using a Garamond, but I want it to be a little more blocky, not quite so curvy. So I'm going to go over here to using my pen tool and then the delete anchor points, and I'm going to get rid of some of my anchor points in my design. And I'm just going to click on the points using my pen tool to kind of change the shape of my M. So do you see this? I have just changed the left side of my M. I've taken that serif completely off. And you can see down here at the bottom, there is some more curves. I'm going to get rid of those too. I'm going to use my pen tool, remove anchor point, and I'm going to flatten out the bottom of my M, getting rid of those extra points down there. Now I have to select right on the anchor point of a path. And if I'm grabbing the handle like I'm accidentally doing right now, and I'm looking up, that's too much. So if I go too much, I can do Command Z, which is undo. That's going to be your best friend, is remember Command Z, so we undo. So now I've just taken off one of my serifs on both sides using my pen tool. Okay, and I'm going to do it on this side of my M too. I'm going to go to my negative, and I'm going to take off these serifs. I'm just going to get rid of it. There it is. And I'm going to get rid of some of these other points that I don't want. Okay. So now I've modified that M. And let's say I'm going to put them here, and I'm going to pull them apart because I want to do something else. So now I'm going to zoom in to my M. Here's my M where I took the serif off, but I want to now add some points. So I'm going to go back to my pen tool, and this time I'm going to say add anchor points. And I'm going to go along my M and add a couple anchor points. And then I'm going to use my direct selection tool, which is the white arrow. And I can now pull out those points I just added. Let's decide, maybe I want to, I don't know what I want to do. Maybe I want to do something. When you hold your shift key down, that's how you can hold a straight line. If I don't hold a shift key down, it's really loosey-goosey. So I'm going to hold my shift key down to keep me on that straight line. And I'm like going to look here, and I'm going to say, I don't want this dip here. I'm going to go back to my delete anchor point, get rid of that. And I'm going to pull this up, and I can also grab, so the fun thing about the anchor point and the thing that's confusing about it is, sorry, I got to zoom out. I've gone too far. What did I do? Oh, here it is. Okay. Here it is. Okay. When I'm using the pen tool, you have these things called a bezining handle. And so each anchor point has these like little handles, which allows you to make curves. Okay. They allow you to make curves and change the direction of the scrolls. They can be very unwieldy, and it takes quite a while to get the hang of these. I don't expect you to figure out these curves right away. But if you find that these handles are coming out and you're like, I don't want curves, I just want it to be a corner, you can go here under the pen tool to the anchor point tool, which looks like a little upside down V, and click that point, and it's going to make it a corner. And that can be so handy when you're dealing with points. You can say, okay, and down here, I want this one to be a corner. I don't want there to be a curve there. I don't want a curve there, and I don't want a curve there. You can change it here. Say, I don't want a curve. I want this to be a corner. And then I can also go into my delete anchor points and delete these extra anchor points I no longer need. Use my direct select tool to change. And I can kind of decide if I want to move this around. I don't think I do. Now let's say you're like, oh, so now I have corners. And when you click on that corner, you'll see there's a little target that kind of, let me zoom in real close so you can see it closer. So when I click on this anchor point, this little corner comes in and it allows me to make a curve. I can make this curvier, or I can keep it a sharp corner, or I can pull this in and make it a curve, which can be really handy. And I can do that over on this side too. I can click on the corner and then pull this in. Now that's not all. I can also change the way that curve works. So I'm going to undo that. Command Z is undo. And notice how it's going to, if I just do it, the default is this. It just makes a round curve like this. I'm going to undo. I'm going to hold my Option key down. And let's see, it's not, hold on. I got to remember the choices. There we go. I can hold the Option key down and click, and it shows me different types of corners. And this one, it's making it on all the corners because I double clicked. I didn't mean to do that. So I'm going to click on the one. I'm going to hold the Option key down and click again, and it's going to give me a different kinds of curve. Undo. I'm going to hold the Option key down. I'm going to click twice, and then I get just an angle. Undo. Option, click, 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 back to curve. So you have 3 different kinds of curves you can add, and you get them by holding the Option key down and clicking, and then these other kind of versions come in. And you can see if I don't select just the corner, it affected this one too. So I don't want that. I don't know when that happened. It went some one of these that I did. There we go. So it's kind of fun to play with these ways, and I can do it for the whole shape. So let me back it up and you can see this. So if I just grab the corner of the whole shape, when it's all selected, this is what happens. I can adjust and take something that's very sharp and now make it very curvy. Okay, so those are some pen tool things to check out. Adding anchor points, removing anchor points, playing with the corners, making something, changing a soft corner to a square corner, or making a square corner or a soft corner square. So this is ways you can play with the curvy nature and really explore what you can do with the letter form.
Quick question. I have a PC and I am trying to play with the rounding of those points.
Yes.
I don't know what is the key to be able to make it the opposite.
It's the Alt key.
Alt.
Hold Alt and click on the corner, and it does the same thing as what a Mac does. Option. Sorry.
No, I appreciate it. I keep forgetting to say Alt. But yeah, anything that is Option on a Mac is Alt on a PC. So I'll walk you through it one more time because it's a tricky thing. Let me do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do it again. So here's let's go to my other M. I have 2 M's. So let's go to this guy. Let's go to this M. So we're on this M. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to make a corner. So the most important thing is first you have to make a corner. So right now, for example, I don't have a corner here. I have, let me zoom in so you can see it. I have like a anchor point there and an anchor point there. That's not a corner. So first I got to make a corner. So let me go back to the pen tool, delete anchor points. So first off and foremost, I'm going to delete that anchor point, and I'm going to go and add the anchor point tool and turn it into a corner. So now when I click my direct selection tool, you can see this is now a corner. Do you see that? So first you have to have an actual corner, which is just one point with a corner, like in your room. So let's start there. Let me know when you have that.
Yeah, I have that.
You have that. Okay. So once you have the corner, I want you to go to the direct selection tool, which is the white arrow. And so click off into the outside of the shape, so nothing's selected. And then come in and roll over the anchor point and click on just the anchor point. Just the anchor point.
Yep.
So now you're going to see this little, do you see the little target showing up? Okay.
Yep.
So now hold the Alt key down and click once on that little dot, and then pull in. Click and pull in, and you should see.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
That was
good.
perfect. I didn't know that sequence, and I've never done it this way. I have always done kind of the natural round, but never used this opposite one. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. And so like I can change it here too. I can go back. I've changed it now to the diagonal, and I can click again and make it round. So I can do the changes when I'm even in this position, okay? I can come over to this guy and start doing it here too. I can go over to this one, click the corner anchor, grab this guy, move it, hold my Option key or Alt key down and click, see the different choices, click. Good question. There you go. All right, guys, let's spend the next couple minutes. I want to see how modified you can make your letter. Like how many things can you do? How curvy or square or wacky can you make it? And once you feel good about it, like I'm feeling good about this Em, I feel like, oh, I'm liking this. It feels like really groovy. Once you feel like you have a super groovy letter, pop it in our chat, do a screen grab and put it in the chat. I'm looking at the chat and I see Raul, you're saying your Illustrator does not have knife tool, scissors, and it should be under your, it's under your eraser tool. So if you click on the eraser tool, you'll see there's an eraser tool, a scissors tool, and a knife tool. Click and hold it down, and then the other tools will pop up. Do you see that? All right, Rain, that looks great. Negative. Are you using the most recent version of Illustrator? I'm assuming you are. You're using the one we gave you, right? COD gave you?
Yes, that's the one I installed.
Okay.
And clicked it. I was looking to see if I could
Okay.
add. Usually you will be able to add that knife, but I don't see it.
Here's where you're going to look. There's no worries. So when we started off, are you in the right, first, are you in the right workspace? Are you in the window, workspace, typography?
Yes.
And then the other thing I want you to do is go up to toolbars and I want you to select advanced.
Toolbars. Okay, let's go to toolbars. Windows.
It's under window and then scroll down to toolbars and select advanced.
Okay. Let's see. Basic two options, buttons, no cancel. Okay. Negative, it still won't show me. I wanted to.
Okay, don't worry. So at the bottom of the toolbar, so does your toolbar look like mine on screen with the two columns?
Yeah.
Do you have one that looks like this?
Yeah,
See at the
exactly
very
like it.
perfect. Okay, so at the bottom it says edit toolbar and there's three little dots. Click on that.
Okay.
And then we can scroll down and you can go down to the modify. Like look through all of these tools. It has to be in here. So the knife, mine is on my toolbar, so it's not in here, but if it wasn't, you would have it. I have to figure out where it would be. It would probably be in the modify, I think. It's going to be in the modify area, I think.
Okay. It seems like I found the icon.
Perfect. Click on it, and then you can add that to your toolbar. And so just click it and drag it over to the eraser scissor section. So you add that knife in there.
You're a genius.
All right.
All right.
We have workarounds. We can get it figured out. Awesome. All right, good. Now you can show us your knife skills. Awesome. You guys are rocking it. Excellent. All right, I'm seeing Rains, Rachel, nice. Joseph, looking good. Tanner, awesome. I see a couple hands up. Let's see who's got their hands up. Michaela.
So like I can't find the thing to change points to curves, or I thought I can. It's the like half filled in little. Can I just share my screen?
Yes, you can. Hold on. Let me make sure I have it set that way. Let me stop sharing. And give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, you should be able to share now.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, Tanner, did you have a quick question? What was your question?
So I was able to figure out like how to like copy and paste letters on my knife tool. Can you, sorry if I'm behind, but can you
You're okay.
briefly go over like what the next step was, like a brief summary so I can catch up?
So you've made the knife cuts right now? You've done that part?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
was able to send it in the chat.
Oh, there it is. I see it, Tanner. Okay, good. You're there. Okay, so now we're doing the pen tool. So go ahead and follow. We're going to look at Michaela's here. So you want to, the pen tool is on the left. So you're not in the pen tool, Michaela. You are
Oh.
in the curvature tool. To the left of it is the pen tool.
Okay.
So there you go. So now look at your choices here. Tanner, look at this as well. So you have a pen tool, an add anchor point, a delete anchor point, and an anchor point tool. So we want to make a corner. So let's go with the anchor point tool. All right, so like go to your corner and click on.
You see, like it doesn't drag the corner, it drags like what's next to the corner.
Well, you don't want to drag anything. You're just going to click on it to turn it into a corner. So you're just going to click. But it already is a corner. Perfect. Now let's go back to the white direct select arrow. Now
Oh.
click. There it
Oh my
is.
God.
There's your
I really
guy.
don't-
So
Is there
click
any
and
way
drag.
is there any way to do that on like negative spaces? Like could I curve this thing?
You sure can. Same thing. Click on that corner. Click on it. Oh, don't move it. Don't move it. Just click.
Which is that? Okay, so we got this guy.
You got that one. Go to
Like-
the inner one, the one that you want to see the negative space for. Click. Now zoom in so I can see because that's too far away from me. Okay. So click on the corner and then click inside, like into the white area. I don't think it's a corner. I think there's something going on. So let's go ahead and, nope, hold on. So we want to go ahead with that corner tool that I just showed you. Use that over to the pen tool area. There you go, right there. The anchor
like
point tool.
So like
And this isn't a corner?
Nope,
Or-
you don't do that. You're going to delete it. Don't do that. You want to go to the anchor point tool, which is under the pen tool. Anchor point tool. Nope, nope. The anchor point tool.
thank you. Now I can actually see.
Click on the corner. Click. Don't move it. Just click it. And
Okay.
then go to the direct select tool.
So you click it and then direct select.
And then there's your corner. See? So to make a corner, I'm having you use the anchor point tool. That's changing it from whatever it was, which was a curve of some sort, to a corner. In order to do what we're doing here, where we're rounding these things and doing the different options, which you can now hold your option down or alt if you're on a PC, you can do the different shapes. When you click on that little target, that's not the corner. So first you have to have a corner. You're just clicking. You're not moving it. You're just clicking it to make it a corner. Then you're going to the white direct select arrow to access the target, which is going to allow you to make the curve. There you go. You got it, Michaela. You got it.
Okay, I think I got
You
it.
got it. Yeah, you got it.
So you
Try it
do
one more
this
time.
guy, anchor
Yep,
point,
grab that guy. Click on the corner. Just click,
the little corner.
click on the white arrow. There you go. There you go. You
Hi. Thank you.
got it. You got it.
Wow.
All right, Tanner, let's look at your screen. Let's see what you got going on. We'll get there too. Keep posting your designs into the chat, everybody. We want to see everybody's fantastic work. Keep going. And try another version with a different curve for your one now. Just want to make sure we all get how this works. All right. So what I don't want you to do is what I just saw you do is which is stretching. One thing I don't want you to do, notice how I'm not stretching or squishing type. So that's a type crime. So we don't want to stretch or it's a type crime. We're going to talk a lot about type crimes this semester. And one type crime that we really got to be careful of is we don't want to stretch or pull apart letters. we're going to modify some of the shapes, but we're not squishing them or stretching them. So, all right. So Tanner, let's grab your letter here form, and let's go ahead and grab the type tool. I mean, not the type tool, sorry, the pen tool.
Okay.
And you're gonna click and hold it down. Click and hold the pen tool down when you're on the toolbar. When you're on the toolbar, click and hold the pen tool down. Click and hold.
Yeah, I'm clicking and holding. Like,
Are we in the right workspace? Let me go up to window. Let's go to workspace. Scroll down to workspace. I don't know on a PC where workspace is. It's always at the top on a Mac, but it looks like yours is not.
yeah, mine's like really different. If I got a Mac, it would be easier to navigate.
Where is workspace?
Am I going
Where
all
my
the way
PC?
up?
It's towards the top where it should be,
Yeah,
at
go
least if
all
you're
the
on a
way up.
PC, before you even get to that section. Keep going.
Is that as far as you can go up?
Nope.
Oh, there should be more.
Oh, that's what it was. We weren't seeing the
A little
whole.
more.
Little
Keep
more.
going.
Keep going. Keep going.
There you go.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
same.
Yeah, it is at the top. Okay, so it's the same as Mac. So go to workspace, typography. Okay, you're in the typography. Good. Now go to toolbar. Nope. Go back to window. Go to toolbars. And you're in advanced. Okay, good. You're in advanced. Now let's click on that pen tool again, because it's weird that it's not showing, but we can add it if we need to. So click back on the pen tool, click and hold it down. There they are. They're there. Go down to anchor point.
Anchor point.
Okay, now let's zoom into your teeth. Get real close so I can see it, because I'm looking at your screen, which is small. So do me a
Okay.
favor and zoom in tight so I can really see it.
Oh my god, this is embarrassing.
You got it. It's okay. We're getting it. There you go. You got it. You can use your command plus or to zoom in. Command plus.
Oh yeah, control.
Control plus.
Yeah,
Control plus.
yeah, I'm doing
There you
control
go.
plus. It's
Yep.
like
And then
it
use
cuts.
your. That's
Oh,
okay. So
you,
then use your space bar with your left hand and your mouse with your right hand to move around the board. So use your press the space bar and your click on the, there you go. There you go. Now you got the hand. So that's how you can move around the board. There you go. And now you're going to do control plus again. So you get a little closer. There you go. And then use the space bar again. There you go. That's easier now. Yes.
yeah, that was easier.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to use that little anchor point tool at the tip of this serif right there. Yep. Click on that.
Right here.
Right there. Yeah. Click right there. Perfect. Don't click and drag. Don't move it. Just click and then lift up. Don't do anything. Just click and lift up. Now go over to the white arrow tool, which is the direct select tool. And so change your tool to the white arrow.
This one.
Yep.
Okay.
And then now, do you see this little, don't go back to that point we were just working on. See that little
Okay.
anchor? Click and drag right there. Click and drag. Other way.
Click.
Other way. Up. Go up. See how you just made it a curve?
Yeah.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, stay there. Hold your Alt key down and click on that right where you are. Hold the Alt key down and click. Don't move, just click. There you go. So each time you click, it changes the shape. Click again. Holding your Alt key down.
Yeah, I'm holding my Alt key.
Click. There you go. See how you changed it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how you do it.
Oh, got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Mm.
All right, good.
Yeah, I'll be in a second.
All right. Good, good. How are you doing? Everyone feeling good about it? Okay, so it looks like we're ready for the next tool. Yes? Thumbs up. Are we ready for the next one? All right, here we go. We're gonna do another one. Don't worry if you're not. We're gonna keep going. So now, rotate was one I was gonna bring up. And I think you probably all know this. Let's just grab one of our letters, but just to make sure we understand, because a lot of us are gonna have our letters rotating. I saw that a lot in our sketches. To get to the rotate tool, so I've selected one of my letters, and I'm just gonna go over here, and it's this icon on the left that is with an arrow with a circle. And it has a little crosshairs.
Can't
So the
see
thing you should
screen.
be, oh, you can't see my screen? I
No.
forgot. I was sharing, you guys, hold on. Let me get it for you guys. Thank you for telling me. Okay, now you can see, I hope. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So okay, so here's where the rotate is. We're on the toolbar again. And if I click and hold, you're gonna see there are two tools layered on top of each other. There's the rotate tool, which is R, or the reflect tool, which is O. So I have a couple ways I can do this. I can just, I'm selecting from the toolbar, but I can also just click the letter R and get it. So here's how it's going to work. It's a little crosshairs, and it's a little confusing. So if I select like one little, like the upper right-hand corner, let's say, of my M, and I click here, I click it, then I move my cursor, and then I click and drag to rotate it. And that's kind of that's a kind of a weird place for me to rotate it. So I'm not going to like that. I'm going to undo it. I'm going to click my rotate. Oops, hold on. I'm going to click my rotate tool again. And this time I'm going to select the middle, like right in the middle of my letter approximately. And so you can see it left this little turquoise bullseye there. Now I click it once. Don't go too fast with this. Click it once and then move your cursor to like the outside. And now you can click and drag and rotate it from the center. Undo. I saw a chat show. Where did my chat window go?
Oh, it was just me posting the thing.
Oh, okay. Okay, I wasn't sure if someone had a question. All right, good. So there's that. Now you can try it both ways. So the nice thing about it is it allows you to decide how you want to rotate it and from what part of the letter form. So I'm going to grab the lower left this time. I'm going to come up to the upper right, and it allows me to kind of pivot on that left corner. So there's lots of different ways we can rotate. I just want you to understand how the tool works because it's a little confusing. So either you click in the middle and rotate it like a record, or you click it in a corner and pivot, you know, left or right. Now, if you hold the shift key down, it's going to move in 45 degree, you know, 180. It's going to move in quarters. So you can make it, you can control it. It's not so freeform. And that's by holding the shift key down.
I'll die on that hill.
Now the last, oh yeah, Jackson, go ahead.
For that, is there a different hotkey to, like, I guess, make it move slower or something like that?
Oh, it's just, I'm moving it with my mouse. So if I'm just, it's up to you. So I'm clicking, I'm holding the shift key down.
Mhm.
And I'm moving it at my own pace. So it's up to you how fast you want to move it.
Yeah, because like when I had it in the center, it moved, moved at my pace, right? But then when I had it like in like the bottom right of my letter, I just all of a sudden just decided to go 1,000 miles an hour, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" So I didn't know
That's
if there's,
weird.
like,
That's a glitch. It shouldn't do
okay,
that.
okay,
Like I'm doing it right now and I'm moving it slowly. You should
Okay.
be able to move it slowly. Try it again. It might just be glitching.
Okay.
For some reason. I'm not sure why. Did I see another hand go up? Rachel, yeah, go ahead.
Why can't you, I see why you would do it on like a corner or something, but why can't you just go to the regular selection tool where the box is and like go out slightly from the bounding box and near a corner and then just turn it that way.
You mean like this? You definitely can, but this is
Oh.
just giving you that center rotation.
Okay. Yeah, if you
It
just want to
doesn't,
rotate.
right, so you're right. So Rachel, you brought up a good point. When you use the selection tool, it does allow you to select from the corner and do that kind of rotation from the center. But you can't do this kind of rotation from a corner when you're using the selection tool.
Okay, cool.
Yep. But that's a good point, and I'm glad you brought that up, because the other thing to be aware of as we're learning Illustrator is you're going to see that Illustrator lets you do some of the same things with multiple different tools, different ways. And so there's just sometimes a little difference of how you want to handle it. The other thing I wanted to show you on this tool is the flip, the reflect tool. So below the rotate tool is the reflect tool. And so it is kind of what you're saying. It's like a mirror reflection. So I can click on the corner here and I can reflect it. And I can hold the shift key to keep it aligned to the baseline, or I can click at the top and then with the bullseye here, and then go down to the left, and you can see how it's flipping. I got to move this letter so you can see. Let me get some space. Okay, so let me move this out of the way over here. So here's the letter. I'm going to use the flip key. I'm clicking in the upper left. I'm coming down. I'm holding my shift key because I want it to be, I don't want it to be at an angle. I want it to stay on the baseline. And now I've just flipped my M. So I put my point at the top and I brought my cursor down to the baseline, and I'm going to hold the shift key. And that gives me that, just flipping it on the baseline. I'm holding the shift key down though, in order to keep it on the baseline. You can also do it without the shift key, and then you notice how it's going to be a little not even. It's going to be on an angle. So the shift key just allows you to keep things on the baseline. Okay, so you can try that. So that's rotate, and do I see any hands up? Okay, so we've gotten pen, we've got rotate. We already did pencil. Okay, unite, so Pathfinder tools. So the next step is Pathfinder tools. I'm going to go to my third letter now. And our third letter we're going to do is Pathfinder. All right. Is everyone ready to move on to the next one? Thumbs up if you're ready. Okay, we're going to wait a few minutes. I'll wait till everyone's ready. Oh, I'm seeing more thumbs come up. Okay. Okay, make sure you're posting. So you now should have 2 letters posted in the chat. We're moving on to the third letter, and this is going to be Pathfinder. So if we go under Window, we're going to scroll all the way down to the Pathfinder. And it's going to open up its own little window, and it looks like this. Again, that's under the Window, Pathfinder. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to show you a couple of the Pathfinder tools, but I'm going to first kind of do something to make it worth our while here. So let's see, what do I want to do? So I'm going to do, I'm going to copy the D again. I'm going to make a second D, and I'm using my Alt or Option key just to click and pull over another D. So I have 2 Ds. And, just to build on what we did on our last one, I'm going to go ahead and take this D and I'm going to reflect it. So I'm going to click at the top. I'm going to hold the shift key down to the baseline and click. So now I have 2 Ds. And I'm going to overlap them like this. So here's my 2 Ds. I've overlapped them. They're 2 separate letters. I'm overlapping them. Okay. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to take one letter, flip it, overlap it. So you have some overlapping elements like you're seeing mine have. So these are two different letter forms that I'm overlapping, but I want to make them into one. So I'm going to select both, and I do that by selecting the first one, holding the shift key down, and selecting the second one. And I'm going to go to the shape, to the shape modes here inside of Pathfinder. And the very first one where it's two squares that are solid is unite. And I'm going to unite them. So now this is one shape. And I know that, actually, I can show you this. Hold on, I'm going to do it two colors so you can see it better. So this is one color. This is a different color. I'm going to select them both. And I'm going to unite them. Now you can see they've all become one color. They're one unit. So kind of like a ligature, they're all one. And that's how we use unite. I've now made it into one unit. I'm going to undo it. I'm going to make a copy, actually. I'm going to do that one and unite it. This one, I'm going to do a little differently. So I'm going to do it again. And I have two. And I think I'm going to add something else. I just feel like we need a couple more things to make this. I'm going to add a rectangle. Here is going to be another color. Okay. Okay. So, okay. So I have all of these things, all of these items that are separate shapes. And I'm going to use something called a shape builder tool. And over here on the, I'm going to select all. And over here on the left, there is a tool called the shape builder tool. And it's about more than halfway down the toolbar on the left side. And what it does is it allows me to select items to put them together into one shape. So for example, let's say I want to have the striping on my green letter, and I want it to feel like it's maybe weaving between the green and purple. So I'm going to select the white spaces where my shape is, because I don't really want the shape in the white spaces. And I'm going to make this, I don't want no, that's what do I want to do? I have to think about how do I want to connect things. What Shape Builder allows you to do is to connect things together and make them one. So let's see, I want these to be connected. Okay, I'm making what's in the white space all connected. It's going to go yellow, but I'm going to make it white. Those spaces, white, white, white. Selecting, making them white. See, I want to make these green, let's say. Oh. Come back to that. Gotta come back to Shape Builder. What else do I want to connect? Maybe I want to make those two connected. Maybe I want to make these three connected. So I can start taking different elements and connecting them. So you can kind of see how that's happening. So here I can say, I want to make that green. So I'm having this kind of unusual striping pattern happen. It's because of what I've decided to connect and not connect. And I kept all of my negatives. So now I have these shapes that are in my white space. I can just delete them. So these extra shapes in my white area, I can delete them. So that's how the Shape Builder allows us to kind of merge shapes together and get rid of things that we don't want in negative spaces and so on and so forth. So This one over here is Unite. This one over here is Shape Builder. This is a Pathfinder tool, and Shape Builder is over here in the toolbar. Okay, so try that. Try uniting. Try playing with the Shape Builder with your letters by mixing multiple letters on top of each other and how you might be combining them. Again, this is something you would be using in the mix or morph version of your designs. All right.